Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, the Illblurmatic. Welcome back to Illblurmatic, the illest blur in the land. Welcome back to the channel. Returning supporters, welcome to the channel. New supporters, welcome to the channel. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Let's get right into it. The Disney Plus episode 7 of Marvel show What If Thor was the only child? Yes, let's get right into it. So this episode starts off literally with Dorsey and pretty much Jane inside their actual vehicle, and pretty much Dorsey shooting peanuts in a can, or a coffee cup, I should say. And pretty much Jane is on the phone with S.H.I.E.L.D. dealing with another phenomenal, or anomaly, I should say, coming to Earth. And I like this episode. Like, just the start off of it is very interesting. I thought it was going to start off automatically with Thor. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? In this episode, we see Thor in a different light. And Thor has come to Las Vegas, Nevada. And what is he doing? Having the time of his life. He is living it up. Drinking, partying, dancing. You know what I'm saying? He is pretty much having the time of his life. But before that, his mother tells him, do not get into any trouble and do not do anything. Hemlock just gives him the evil eye. I love Hemlock in this episode. Hemlock, like, you know, I was like, oh my God, poor Hemlock. Hemlock is like pretty much trying to take care of Loki, you know, in this episode. Like, he's the one that's not for the nonsense, while his mother is going to visit, someone else to a party. So I'm like, his mother get it from his mama. His mama's a party animal. He's a party animal. What I like about this is that we see Thor, noticeable characters. We see Nebula. We see, like I said, the Skrulls, all these different characters at the party, you know what I'm saying? And I thought it was really cool that he ends up coming across Jane and Dorsey at the party. Dorsey is getting hit on by Howard the Duck, while Jane is getting hit on by pretty much Thor. And before they go to encounter or to approach him, Jane is having feelings for Thor. She's got like a thing for him. She didn't expect him to look this good as an alien, you know what I'm saying? And she's talking to Dorsey about it. She's like, oh, you found your kin. I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny that Howard the Duck that was hitting on Jane's buddy. He's like, oh, you're a brunette. He's trying to shoot his shot, boy. Howard the Duck, you can't even be mad at him. Like, shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot, right? But also the problem is after Jane and them have a good time, her and Thor get matching tattoos. I'm like, oh, they got matching tattoos. That's so nice. And pretty much Dorsey, kicking it with Howard the Duck. The next day, they wake up in a room and literally there's someone from S.H.I.E.L.D. at the door. But it's not Nick Fury, it's the replacement for Nick Fury. So the replacement for Nick Fury said, hey, look, we got a problem. This is catastrophic. And Jane was like, oh, he left me? How could he do me like that? I said, oh, Jane catching feelings? All right. Okay. And pretty much, they step in for agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., in command, pretty much summons Captain Marvel to go find Thor. And what I gotta say about this is comical. Like, I love this part of the episode. The fighting scenes were so, like, silly. You know what I'm saying? They knocking each other across the continents and stuff. Thor is like, look, I'm just here to have a good time, and and Captain Marvel, she just not trying to hear that mess. She like, you came here to do something else, you know what I'm saying? And we see them fight throughout some of this episode. Then they end up fighting again. That was the goofiest part of this episode. Also, we are introduced to Loki twice. I forgot to mention this episode. Loki the first time, Loki calling him, brother from another mother. And then he called him Thunder Buddy. I was like, wow, So Loki is a little bit of a party animal too, to some extent in this episode. He's like to have a good time. He even asks Jane, does she have any friends that he could hook her up with, the Ice Giant? I said, boy, Loki said, look, he was able to get somebody. Maybe you could hook me up with one of your friends, right? I just said, wow, that's crazy that he, thought that. But in a sense, it's like, well, it makes sense. Then we see pretty much Captain Marvel and Thor duke it out again. And pretty much what happens is now is that, literally Jane can't get in contact with Thor after the next battle that they had. And she ends up calling his mother, Freya, you know what I'm saying? And everyone, else, I meant to say, pretty much, he had to clean up his act. Thor had to really play the role. Like, he is just here for Earth to learn new things about Earth and everything. And literally, pretty much people weren't taking him serious because he's a carefree, like, party animal, Thor. Like, you would have never expect him to be serious. But now when mama coming to Earth or Midgard, he said, I gotta clean up my acts. So he pretends to be teaching the people that he invited to the party and stuff. And what I love about it is Captain Marvel comes back around. I'm like, wow, plot twist. Captain Marvel comes to his aid, and she's like, oh, I didn't know this about this little small tiny device. And his mother senses that he's lying. I mean, we knew that was gonna happen, right? And pretty much, he has to go back to Asgard. But before he leaves Earth, he sees Jane one last time. And he tells Jane that he's really interested in her. He calls her a unicorn. He's like, I come across all these unicorns, but I think you're the one for me. I thought that was really kind of, I guess you could say, cheesy, but it worked. Jane had feelings for him too. Pretty obvious. We saw that early on in the episode. And pretty much he gets a date with Jane. So I gotta say, man, this episode was very fun, very interesting. There is some cussing in it, not a lot, just 2 times in this episode. If you have kids, this is definitely not something you want them to see when it comes to that part, especially if they're super young. I really liked the episode. They really gave us a different twist with Thor and Loki. Them not being, Loki not being raised by pretty much, Odin, and stuff like that. So it's a different twist. Like, him being the only child, he was spoiled. He was a party animal. He was too carefree, But I'm glad that Marvel took a really risk with this episode. I think it was a really fun episode, more lighthearted than usual. But guys, this is your boy, illblurmatic. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, guys, have a great one. If you have not subbed, what are you waiting for? Because like I said, I'm trying to get my subs work all the way up. All the way up. Take care, guys, and I am out.
Next time, oh yeah, illblurmatic.